What's up, guys? It's Riv, once again, back by overwhelmingly popular demand. Today I'm here with a review, another review that no one asked for, but I asked for it. Pacific Daydream. Weezer's Pacific Daydream. An absolute garbage can. Now, a while back, I did a review for the White Album, and I love the White Album. I hold it to a very high regard. And for a while, the Weezer fan base was getting all hyped up for the Black Album because that's what Rivers has been talking about for a while. It'd be the yang to the White Album's yin. It'd be darker. It would be like if white is blue, then black will be Pinkerton. And I was just so excited and so hyped for it. And then we got the first single, Feels Like Summer, and my heart sank. And if you don't know, that was supposed to be the first single for the Black Album. And that was very concerning. And then I became more concerned when the Black Album was put on the back burner, and basically we got Pacific Daydream instead, which in my eyes is just the Black Album's trash can. If you don't know, a lot of songs that they made for the Black Album really just didn't fit the atmosphere of it. They weren't dark enough or something. So they just kind of threw them aside into their own folder, and eventually that became what we have now, which is Pacific Daydream, aka the album that no one asked for. It's a pop album by Weezer. I don't know if anyone ever wanted Weezer to make pop, but they're their own band. They can do what they want, whether we like it or not. I mean, you'll see my opinion. I'm sure you're already seeing it, but let's just see it through more as I go track by track with this album. So let's just get started. So Mexican Fender starts things off on a decent note, perhaps even a deceitful note, in that it opens up with these classic, crunchy Weezer guitars. Perhaps they're a bit too simple, but they're enough to draw me in. And then we get the lyrics on this song, which are kind of just silly. I mean, I always give Weezer a little leeway, because they've always taken the more playful route with their lyrics, but even here, they're just kind of dumb. Like, what does he say? He goes, it was hot, 100 degrees, and she only went in up to her knees. She didn't want to take off her jeans, because that would be insane. And those are just some basic lyrics. It's a lot of what we got on the White Album, but just dumbed down. Like, ooh, I like this girl, but she doesn't like me. Boo-hoo. And it's also summertime. It's it's kind of just overdone at this point, but I still enjoyed the song. It's got a catchy chorus, even if it's a bit simple. And the bridge on this thing, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10, the song, if it wasn't for that bridge. The bridge brings it up a whole point. The bridge is awesome. It's just so energetic. And I also like the glockenspiel on this. It kind of gives you that daydream vibe I think they were going for. So I like that inclusion. Overall, it's a 6 out of 10. And then following that song, we get Beach Boys, which shows us the true nature of this album, which is light, basic, bland, light pop rock. And that's what this song is. Don't get fooled by the title. The Beach Boys have nothing to do with this. I hate that they're even associated with this, because this is a song, I guess, about reminiscing on times when you were young and cool, I guess, or whatever. But anyways, the song is just so uninspired, and the hook is nothing to write home about. It's just so mundane, and it's just, the lyrics are abysmal. It's just so much forced rhyming about Rolls Royce being rhymed with chew toys and getting my eyes moist instead of just saying crying. It's just, major cringe. And then, yeah, I really have nothing to say. The bridge on this one is the worst out of the whole album. It just feels like it would be too boring if they went through the chorus again, so they had to do something, and that's what they did. Wasn't a good idea. Overall, it's a bad song. I give it a 3 out of 10. And now we have the lead single off of this album, Feels Like Summer, which I already kind of mentioned. And listen, this song is an undeniable banger, as you might call it. It is very catchy, or at least the chorus is, but catchiness is not the same thing as quality. I think we all know that. For example, Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe, that's a catchy song. It was on the radio forever, but I think we can all agree that the song itself really isn't all that great. Same thing applies here. Just because it has a catchy chorus, it does not excuse the simplicity of the lyrics might I mention the oversimplicity. It doesn't excuse a bland instrumentation. It does not excuse the fact that Pat Wilson has been replaced by a drum machine for some reason. And with all that being said, it's just inexcusable. Yes, there's a catchy chorus, but it's just so like simple and like just cut and paste music. What else do I have to say about it? I do like the juxtaposition of the darker lyrics with the poppier sound. The lyrics are actually discussing the death of a girlfriend. It seems like, and I just wish that was executed better lyrically. I wish that just came out more in the lyrics, or I wish that the whole concept itself was just reserved for a better song. Overall, I give this song a 5 out of 10. And now we have Happy Hour, which for me is a snooze fest. The same disdain I have for Beach Boys is also applicable here, in that it's just a very simple, mindless song. And up till this point, the choruses have been kind of just mindless, very simple, like one sentence choruses. It worked on Feels Like Summer, it worked on Mexican Fender. It certainly doesn't work here, just because it's so boring and just unimaginative. There's only so many ways I can translate the blandness I feel from this song and the others. So once again, this is another 3 out of 10 for me. Weekend Woman, that's a pretty good song. That's a decent song. It's got a good guitar riff that carries it. It's got a fairly catchy chorus, and I like the jingle bells that come in. It's very Beach Boys-esque. So is the bridge, which I found a little jarring at first, but I've come to enjoy it. And, it's really nothing special, the song. It's just relative to the rest of the album. It's really not that bad. But if it were to stand on its own, I don't think I'd give it a second glance. It's just a decent song. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. QB Blitz, once again, another good song relative to the rest of the album. The melodies on this one are good. It's a sweet song. But once again, the lyrics are kind of just nonsense and childish. Like Rivers Cuomo rhymes friends with friends once, and besides that, everything else isn't very impressive either. Just a little disappointed in the lyricism, but chorus is catchy. Although I don't really care for the Star Wars references and all that, I think it's kind of just cheesy. But the bridge on this one. Yeah, that's the best moment on this album, is that bridge. It just the music swells up, these guitars come in, this glockenspiel comes in, it gives it that Daydream feel. When I think Pacific Daydream, I think of that bridge, because that's awesome. I think this would be like a 5 out of 10 without the bridge, but with the bridge, it's a 6 out of 10. I'm probably going to speed through these next few songs, because they're all kind of just forgettable, so let's just get through them. Sweet Mary is a sweet song. It doesn't really do anything wrong per se. It just doesn't really do anything. It's a very repetitive song that just goes verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. And yeah, the bridge on this one, it's kind of like it tries to do what LA Girls does on the bridge back from the White Album, but it just does it much worse. It kind of just fails completely. I give it a 5 out of 10 just for being a competent song. Alright, now what's next? Get Right. Get Right is like Sweet Mary, but like even more forgettable. It just feels like so phoned in. Like, it just doesn't do anything special at all. I really have nothing to say about it, so let's give it a 4 out of 10. And as you can see, we're just kind of stepping down the ladder here, so you can guess that La Mancha Screwjob, yes, it's a 3 out of 10. And that's because it is just so, I already used the term, phoned in. Like, the lyrics on it are just so stereotypical of what you would expect from, like, a basic pop song. He says, what does he say? He says, you and I, we do it right, hanging out on a summer night. We're getting faster, faster, we're going stronger, stronger. And then he does some vocal filler. It's just such a bland chorus and so poorly done in terms of instrumentation. Really nothing special. So yeah, that's a 3 out of 10. And then, Any Friend of Diane's is, once again, kind of a forgettable song. I mean, there's some good moments on it, like the bridge gets kind of emotional. And there's this nice little, like, acoustic guitar solo, which was interesting. But once again, it goes for, like, the banger chorus, which is okay, but the mixing is kind of bad, and I'm just so tired of like the one sentence choruses. Like it starts with Mexican Fender with My Summer Love. That's the entire chorus, and it continues on here. The entire chorus is Any friend of Diane's is a friend of mine. Happy Hour. The chorus is I need happy hour on a sad day. And I'm just like by the end of this album, I'm just so sick and tired of that. But here it is nonetheless. Um, and also Rivers Cuomo just like he has this lisp on this song for some reason. I think it might be the vocal effect they put on him. But anyways, it doesn't go well. I mean, it wouldn't go on well on anyone. It just sounds ridiculous. Like it might have been a 6 out of 10, but that just knocks it down an entire notch for me. This is a 5 out of 10. Alright, so now with every song rated, I'm going to take all these ratings, divide them by 10 for an average score of a 4.5 out of 10. Mind you, that's technically a 4.6, but I always round down to the half points or the whole points. So that's a 4.5 out of 10. And that seems pretty fair. It's like in the smack middle of mediocrity, which is what I would say this album is. It's mediocre. Only at a few points is it truly bad, but it just really doesn't do much for me. It really just doesn't impress me like a lot of their past stuff has. And Weezer's known to take these dips in their career. It's just like, I don't know, something about making good music just doesn't do it for them, and I gotta make something like this every once in a while. But you know what? If that's what they have to do to make something like Everything Will Be Alright in the End, or the White Album, then so be it. I just hope that this isn't an indicator of what the Black Album will be. If so, God help me. But other than that, this concludes another review. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for what I should review next, leave them in the comment section below. No matter what's down there, I'll always give it a listen. And if I have strong enough opinions on what I hear, then you'll see a review on it. Otherwise, I just make these when I'm completely bored out of my mind. Today was one of those days, so you got to review. If you're one of the 10 people watching this.